Hello to our listeners. I'm your host Akram Ashour, Head of Supervision at WSP in the Middle East. And in this episode of the WSP Anticipate podcast, I'm delighted to be joined by Engineer Mooza Al-Sowaidi, Head of Doha City Section at Qatar's Public Work Authority, to examine top driving factors of program delivery success. Delivering large-scale program is no easy achievement. It requires careful planning, a well-coordinated team, and understanding of the various factors that influence success. Engineer Moda, thank you for joining the anticipated podcast. In 2011, the Public Work Authority launched several large-scale infrastructure programs, and since then, it did manage to deliver most of the planned works under this program with spectacular success. One of these outstanding programs is the local roads and drainage program, which you have been part of. So in your opinion, what are the main driving factors of successful large-scale program delivery?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be on this podcast and to chat with you on a very interesting topic. Being on such program, local roads and drainage program, as you mentioned, in my opinion, the main factors for success is actually to have a very clear strategic vision on such programs. The vision is very important to be followed so that you can achieve what you want as an outcome. And also aligning to this vision at all time is also very important. Local roads and drainage program vision has been to deliver the project to customer satisfaction on time and also to budget with the highest standard of quality, sustainability, and safety. So this was very clear from the beginning, and this is what we have been doing over the years. Also, aligning to such a vision in general on such programs, it can be done through a very strong matrix of several of things. For example, the personnel selecting very carefully the talent to actually deliver such program is such an important thing. On the program, on the LRDP program, we have local, regional, and even international talent. That actually was one of the key success factors. With the right knowledge, I think it's one of the things that contributed to the success. Because at the end of the day, it's the people who are delivering the program. Also, the systems that were designed for the program made it and facilitated the program to be delivered easily. So, for example, on the local roads and drainage program, we have used the gateway system in which the project will come to gateways or points in its life cycle. So this was very important to know to make key decisions in the right time and to actually have governance over the project and its life cycle. And also, the online systems and the procedures and the workflow were very important for delivering such program. This is where the project management, the communication, the accessibility of such information was all made, and to also streamline all the tasks and make sure that we increase efficiency while minimizing all the errors throughout all the projects in the program. These are the things that align such vision for all the personnel. Also, as well, it's very important to adapt to changes in such programs. So management of changes to be done very effectively is one of the things that make such program successful. And also, on big programs, and something that we've faced in our program is management of stakeholder as well. So there's different aspects that needs to be managed within the program and the project as well. And also, the growth and the knowledge transfer during the program is very important because we keep learning with new projects and keep applying the lesson learned from the beginning of the program until now.
Thank you, Moza. These are indeed critical factors for success. I agree. I believe that our teams are our greatest assets, and the early engagement of stakeholder are essential in all of these factors of success. So my next question is, we know many large-scale infrastructure programs exceed their estimated budgets. How do you ensure that a program of the magnitude of the LRDP is delivered on budget?
To make sure that it's delivered on budget and to make sure that, we're getting the most value out of our program and our project, we have to look at, the value management of these projects and the program itself. So as I mentioned earlier, like one of the things that we were using on our local roads and drainage program is actually the gateway system. As I have explained, it's where the projects within the program, they enter different points or different gates in which key decisions can be made. So we look at the value that's going to be presented in the project during concept design, during detailed design. We look at what value is going to be delivered, and this is where we can make the key decisions on how to move forward. Also, we've been using value engineering throughout the projects in the program. And for example, in the past 5 years, we have saved about 2.9 billion Qatari riyal in the past 5 years on overall of the program. It's one of the things that we also, it's not just, during the project life cycle and before even constructing a project or before even going ahead. So in the gateway system, we look at the value before construction. So through design and, choosing the appropriate design and the strategy, how we're going to move. We also do it during construction as well. And we look at the value engineering through the construction as well. So these savings have been done throughout, designs and construction. We've also try to implement different techniques and different sustainable ways in the project and using the lean construction method in the projects. So, for example, in one of the recent projects in the LRDP program in Moslal, they have used the solar panels instead of diesel generator. And this is actually quite not just a sustainable way of using sustainability in the project, but also, cutting off costs of the generator. It's different things. And also one of the key things is the change management. So of course, in such big programs and projects, large scale projects, changes, it's going to happen. Of course, change is going to happen. However, managing changes in an effective way and looking at the changes could also, ensure that we deliver to budget or at least manage these changes in the right way.
Very insightful perspective. Thank you, Mooza. It's definitely amazing achievement for LRDP, and Lean is a great management philosophy and set of practice that Ashghal took the lead to implementing construction. So it's well done on this program. Moving on to the next topic, how do you think we achieve the right balance between budgetary concerns and other objectives, especially with regard to sustainability and quality when delivering large-scale programs?
As I just mentioned, value management, sustainability can be looked at and incorporated throughout the value management. Actually, sustainability it does not necessarily mean that it's going to be the expensive way. Actually, we've looked at in the LRDP program, we've looked at, and we have actually done and implemented on our project, for example, recycling of materials. We've looked at, the value of recycling material and the effect that it had on the projects and actually like on a whole scale of Ashghal. And also, using other recycled materials such as the wrap for the asphalt, and even looking at, the local materials. So implementing all these through measuring the value that it creates for the project itself and for Ashghal, using the local material has a really good effect on an overall scale, even on the market itself. And also, looking at, different ways of reducing the emissions. So all of these can be looked at during the value management of a project and a program. Also, value management and quality management can ensure cost efficient designs and construction, and they can offer also high level of quality. So it's not necessary that it's going to be costly. It's going to actually have different types of benefits and not just monetary benefits. I mean, Ashghal have done a really good job. Ashghal have really made good progress on and focusing on sustainability and focusing on recycling and on the LRDP project itself. We've did a really good job on the recycling part. For example, there has been over 5 million tons of material that were recycled just in the past 2 years. And this is a very huge number and a really good achievement. And also in the past 2 years, there have been over 3.6 million cubic meter of groundwater that was also recycled and used for construction. So incorporating all this within the project can actually, have a really good benefits overall for the project, for the environment. So it's very important to incorporate all these, throughout the project and having, as I mentioned before, a clear vision, as I said in LRDP, is not just to look into delivering projects to budget and time, but also with the high standard of quality, sustainability, and safety. So having such a vision and aligning to that vision all the time was very important.
Definitely not an easy task that for Ashghal to ensure sustainability in their projects, and I think there was a great achievement in this part. We operate in ever-changing and volatile environment, impacting the delivery of large-scale programs. How do you create high-performance culture and ensure that the team remain resilient, agile, and motivated during these times?
I would say, first of all, communication is a very, very important thing to do in such programs. Efficient communication of priorities throughout the program is very important. The message should be cleared. Again, I'm going to repeat myself, but again, as I said, having a vision is one thing, but aligning to that vision is very important. So, throughout such programs, the communication should be a top priority. Having priorities throughout the program and throughout, the project will be very, very critical. And I think also something that is very important, and it was also seen and witnessed in the program that I was from, the LRDP program, having support from leadership and government is very critical. For example, the local roads and drainage, we're going into neighborhoods and providing all the infrastructure and all that. There will be disturbance to the public as we're entering the roads and having diversions and all that. So having the support of leadership and government to do such an important and such critical job, critical projects was very important. To keep the team motivated is actually that support was very important. Also, good leadership throughout the program and aligning back to the vision and what we're doing exactly and why we're doing what we're doing was very important to keep everyone motivated. And also, I think the vision of LRDP is aligning to the vision of Ashghal, and which is also aligning to the vision of the country itself, 2030. It's very vital and very critical to keep reminding the team, the importance of what's being done and, aligning it back to, the vision of the country itself. So all this is factors that we can use to keep motivating the team. And also, one thing that we like to do is also celebrate our wins. We've done a lot of really good jobs and we've achieved really good milestones throughout the program. So the wins that we've achieved are really good, and we make sure that we're celebrating this with everyone. So that also helps motivating the team.
Last but least, is there's many infrastructure program experience delays, which is common. So how do you secure on-time delivery without compromising on other performance indicators?
It's a very important point. As I said, having a vision, so we know what we're delivering. I think to avoid these delays, it's very important. And this is something that we've done on our program since most of our material come locally. Something that we have done on our program to ensure that, we avoid delays is actually to transfer our vision for the program to the local market as well. So to the industry and the supply chain. So this will ensure that the procurement for the projects are as per schedule. We have our look aheads, our coordination with the industry, with the supply chain, to make sure that everyone is aligned to what's coming in the market. So I think this is a very important topic. And since we are getting our material locally, this was very easy to do in the industry and in the supply chain in the market here in Qatar regionally. So I think that that's very important to have the support from the industry as well. So it's a two-way communication and not one-way communication. I've mentioned before the stakeholders. So aligning the stakeholders to the strategy of delivering the program. In our program, in the local roads and drainage program, we have quite few stakeholders. So making sure that all the stakeholders are aligned to our priorities, are aligned to what's coming in the program, and also, having them all aligned to that strategy and that vision was very important. And that actually made us avoid delays and made sure that, we can deliver on time. It's very important, as I said, with the stakeholders to have collaborative planning. And so we're not just planning for ourselves and Ashghal, but also, that plan is transferred throughout to the stakeholder. And within the project itself, it's very important to, assess all the risks that could encounter in the project. Some risk, you cannot plan for them, but some risk can be planned. So it's very important to have that in our planning to make sure that we can deliver on time. One of the new ways that we're using now is the lean construction, in which we try to minimize all the waste and try to collaborative plan and maximize the value, the maximum value. I think all these techniques and all these coordinations and alignment are very critical to ensure that delays do not occur in the project. I've mentioned before the change management to effectively manage all the changes. As I said, changes are inevitable. They're going to happen. So also managing the changes while coordinating with the stakeholders and making sure, we plan ahead and making sure that risks are assessed and the best value can be achieved. All these are very important to avoid delays.
Thank you, Moza. It is very clear, and I personally enjoyed our conversation today, and would like to thank you for your time and valuable insights. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much, and I enjoyed it too as well.
Thank you to all of you who tuned in today. Please leave us a comment if today's discussion has interested you. Don't forget to join us in 2 weeks for the next episode.